Walker Wildman here with Abe Hamilton for Reason and Company. You know, Coach Joe Kennedy's been fighting for a long time, a little over 7 years, for his First Amendment right to pray at the 50-yard line after the football game at Bremerton High School in Washington State. First Liberty Institute has been taking up his case, and they finally prevailed this past year at the Supreme Court. Abe, 7-8 years is a long time to litigate, especially taking you away from your primary job of being a teacher and a coach for Joe Kennedy, but now being in front of the Supreme Court eventually. Why is it important? What's the significance? What was the significance of Coach Joe Kennedy pushing this through the finish line, fighting, and ultimately prevailing at the Supreme Court?
Yeah, that's a great question. Without him being willing to really suspend his normal life to fight for this right, a lot of Americans would still be laboring under an extensive governmental oppression of their freedoms under the First Amendment. School teachers, public school teachers, coaches, etc. Now, because he was willing to lay his life on the line for this, nearly 50 years, almost half a century, a precedent has now been reversed in that regard. And so now teachers, administrators, school teachers, coaches, and others in the public school system have the Supreme Court acknowledged recognition of the First Amendment freedom. So it's a pretty big deal.
Yeah. Folks, this is why, sometimes with these long, drawn-out fights, these legal fights, and, there's no way you can say Coach Kennedy raised his hand and said, hey, I want to be in court for 8 years. That's not what he signed up for, but that's what it came to because he was terminated from his job for praying at the 50-yard line. So this is important. We need to encourage people that are going through long suffering and fighting battles that thankfully we don't have to fight, but it's important for the future of our nation. Thanks for joining us on Reason and Company.